Everyone around them chased the next upgrade, convinced looking rich meant getting ahead. They chose a different path, one almost nobody noticed. Quiet habits, hidden decisions, and relentless consistency turned ordinary income into lasting wealth. The difference wasn't luck. It was a mindset most people discover only after it's too late. In America, two types of people wake up every morning. Some wake up to spend, others wake up to build. One group checks their bank account and feels stress. The other group checks their account and sees opportunity. Most people don't realize their money disappears before noon. But wealth builders, they treat money like a tool, not emotion. While others upgrade their lifestyle, they upgrade their systems. Debt feels normal until it becomes a cage. But some people never enter that cage in the first place. They learn one rule early: spend less than they earn.
If you made it this far, you already know your brain is capable of more. The first link in the pinned comment reveals the simple reading method thousands are using to absorb information faster, remember more, and think with greater clarity. Don't wait until everyone else gets ahead. See it while it's still there.
Sounds simple, but most people never follow it because consumption is addictive and invisible. Wealth builders don't fight temptation. They remove it. Every dollar becomes a decision, not a reaction. And over time, those small decisions compound. Not fast, but unstoppable. Most people want freedom without discipline, but wealth always requires trade-offs. You either pay now or pay forever, and most people choose without realizing it. But the few who wake up change everything. They don't feel different at first, just more aware. Awareness is the real beginning of wealth, because once you see the system, you can't unsee it. Most people are trained to consume, not to question. But wealth builders question everything. Every expense becomes a negotiation. Every habit becomes a strategy. And every decision builds or destroys freedom. The difference is invisible until years pass. One life is reactive. The other is intentional. Most people never escape because comfort feels safe. But comfort can become a trap. Wealth requires discomfort in the beginning, not chaos, but discipline. And discipline compounds silently. While others notice lifestyle, they notice systems. They don't chase money, they design it. And that changes everything. Because freedom is not random, it is built. And most people never build it, they spend it away. And in the end, it always shows in time. Some lives look full, but are financially empty. And some lives look simple, but are quietly powerful. The world doesn't reward noise, it rewards results. And results take time. Most people quit too early. They mistake delay for failure. But wealth doesn't rush, it accumulates. Every small decision is a vote for your future. And most people vote against themselves. Every day, the system is not hidden, it's just ignored. Attention is the battlefield. Money is just the outcome. If you control attention, you control direction. If you control direction, you control outcome. And that is where most people never arrive.
Think you can make it to the end? Stay with the story until the final second. Then comment, "I made it to the end," to prove you caught the hidden lesson most people miss. Thousands never finish and lose the biggest insight. Don't stop now. The ending changes everything.
Not because they can't, but because they don't persist. Consistency beats intensity every time. And slowly, everything changes. Not through luck, but structure. Not through hype, but discipline. And in the end, wealth is just behavior repeated long enough. What looks like luck is usually invisible discipline. Most people only see the result, never the process. And that illusion keeps them stuck, because comparison replaces clarity. And clarity is where wealth begins. When you stop reacting, you start building. And building always looks boring at the beginning. But boring is where freedom is created. The system rewards patience, not urgency. Urgency leads to spending, patience leads to ownership. And ownership changes how you see everything. Even time starts to feel different because you stop chasing it and start using it. Most people never reach this shift because they confuse motion with progress. And progress is quiet. It doesn't announce itself, compounds in silence. And that silence becomes power. Not loud, but undeniable. The world doesn't change for most people until pain forces it. But some people choose change before that moment arrives. They don't wait for motivation. They build systems. Systems remove emotion from decisions. And emotion is what destroys most financial lives. Because spending feels good until it doesn't. Wealth feels boring until it becomes freedom. And freedom is the most expensive thing in America. Most people trade it for comfort and never realize what they lost. Because loss is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It happens slowly through repetition. And repetition builds identity. You become what you do daily, not what you intend. And most intentions never survive reality. Because reality rewards action, not ideas. And action repeated becomes advantage. That advantage becomes distance. And distance becomes freedom. And freedom is built quietly by those who choose differently. And most people never realize the choice is daily, not once, but thousands of times. Each choice either builds structure or destroys it. And structure is what most people lack. They have income, but no system. And without a system, money disappears fast. Wealth builders reverse this flow. They make money work before they spend it. And that order changes everything. Because chaos always costs more. Not just money, but time, energy, and attention. And attention is the real currency. Where attention goes, money follows. And most people never direct it on purpose. They inherit their habits, not their future. But habits can be rewritten, slowly, intentionally, consistently, until the new identity becomes automatic. And that's when everything shifts. Not because life changed, but because you did. And even then, most people underestimate the cost of change. Because change doesn't feel like progress at first. It feels like sacrifice, like missing out. But what you're really missing is debt. And what you're gaining is leverage. Leverage changes how you move through the world. You stop asking what things cost and start asking what they return. That shift alone separates most people forever. Because one group reacts and the other responds with intention. Reaction builds chaos. Intention builds structure. And structure builds freedom. Not instantly, but inevitably. Most people never trust the process long enough. They want fast proof, not slow power. But slow power is the only real one, because it survives everything else. Storms don't break systems. They reveal them. And most systems fail when life gets unpredictable. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation disappears. Discipline stays. And that is where wealth actually lives. Not in excitement, but in repetition. Every day you repeat your future, and most people repeat their past. The difference is almost invisible until it isn't anymore. One day you wake up, and everything is different. Not because life changed, but because you did. And that is the real wealth. Not money in the bank, but control over your behavior. Because behavior always wins. Always. And once you understand that you're no longer part of the system, you observe it. And observation is the first form of control. Because once you see clearly, you stop reacting blindly. And clarity removes fear. Fear is what keeps most people consuming. They buy to feel safe, not to build security. But security is never purchased. It is built, brick by brick, decision by decision, day by day, until it becomes your nature. And then, everything feels lighter, because nothing controls you anymore. Not debt, not pressure, not noise, just direction. And direction changes outcomes. Outcomes change identity. And identity changes everything. Not all at once, but permanently. And that is how wealth really begins.